Are you a procrastinator? Do you put things off and say you'll do them later? Or maybe tomorrow? Well, if that's you, stay tuned, because even if you constantly are putting things off and putting things off, I have a tip for you today as an avid procrastinator that can help you kind of overcome that. So stay tuned, because that is what we are talking about today. Hello, replay viewers. Thank you so much for coming on in and sharing your time with us today. It is a bit of a dreary, cloudy morning here in what normally is sunny Southern California. However, we are enjoying this time and this coolness before the heat comes. Hello everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny, where we are live every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8:15-ish Pacific Standard Time, bringing you tips, tools, and inspiration to help you become the empowered lady boss that you were born to be. So here's the thing. Procrastination comes up all the time. Even those of us who, really strive not to do it, it happens, right? It happens. And that's absolutely okay. For it to happen here and there every once in a while, it's okay. But where the problem can lie is when we are doing it consistently, where it begins to hinder us. So, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Danny. Welcome to the page. It's great to have you here. And I help develop business skills in female entrepreneurs so that they can build the businesses that they dream of. So, when we look at procrastination, and before I do that, I'm going to invite you to share this out. I'm going to invite you to show me some love if you are a procrastinator. And you know what? Sharing is caring, because, hello, we all struggle with this, right? So let's take a look at something really quick. Procrastination is the avoidance. It's actually the avoidance of doing something. So there's many psychologists out there that will tell you, there's probably, something within that is, you're wanting to avoid it. Could be a fear of success type thing, fear of failure. There's a number of reasons why we might avoid something. And if this is a habitual, kind of action that you're taking, or non-action in some cases, then you definitely do want to look at that and take some time to reflect back on that and see maybe where that might be stemming from. Is it the particular action that you tend to avoid? Is there something else? And maybe there's something that you need to work through, and that's definitely, so I want to put that out there right off the bat, that could definitely be something that you need to get a little bit further into. But I'm going to share with you an idea that I have. It's actually not my idea. It actually comes from Brian Tracy. So the thing that procrastination does is that it's this avoidance of doing things that we don't want to do. And generally speaking, there are things that maybe are not our cup of tea, or maybe something that can seem overwhelming, or like it's a big, huge task. And so we often want to steer away from it, and we want to do the little fun stuff first before we tackle that. So if you look at your day, right? You look at all the things that you have to do, and so right away most of us start in on our emails and our social media, right? We right away go into those, and we don't FOMO, hello, we don't want to miss out. So going in and checking out on those and checking our emails and all that fun stuff, right? Well, then what happens? Well, then we switch into the easier stuff, like, oh, okay, I can answer this email really quick, or, oh, okay, I can post this thing on social media really quick, or, oh, I can respond to this post in a group really quick, right? We do these quick little things, and we put off the bigger thing that we have to do that day, the bigger item, right? Maybe it's the update of the website. Right? That can be time consuming. That can be maybe something that you've just been putting it off and putting it off. You really don't want to tackle it. Or maybe it's client work. Maybe this isn't stuff that you really want to do, but it's something that's part of your package, or it's something that you said you'd do for somebody. What happens, right? So then you want to do it, but you don't want to do it, and so you're like procrastinating on doing it, right? Well, here's the thing, is in the book, Eat That Frog, 21 Tips on How to Be More Productive. This is by Brian Tracy. He actually says in it to do what's called eat that frog, which I don't really like that term. However, I like the concept. The concept is basically this: to tackle the hardest thing first in the day. Because if we wait, if we continue to wait and procrastinate, what's going to happen? We're going to get to the end of the day and be like, yeah, I don't have time to do that now, or that's going to take up too much time, and so, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'll do it tomorrow. First thing tomorrow, I'm going to do it, right? I don't know. I've said that a zillion times, or there's something that I have to do that I'm just like, I just don't want to do it. I just really don't want to do it. And so what do? I end up procrastinating it. I say I'm going to do it at 4 o'clock this afternoon, right? And then at 4 o'clock this afternoon, it's like, oh, you know what? I got something. I still got to do this. So I'll do it tomorrow. First thing tomorrow, I'm doing it, right? Yeah, it doesn't happen. But in this book, what Brian Tracy says is that you want to tackle this first, okay? Because first off, it's something that you need to get done anyway. And second, it's the idea of attacking the hardest thing first actually gets you more sped up into the momentum to do more. And here's my tip on that. So when you do tackle the most important thing first, right? I'm going to call it the MIT or MIA or whatever. I'm sorry, I don't like eat that frog. But so when you tackle your most important action item of the day, let's say MIA, and you tackle that. Now, see, it's a bigger project. Let's say like it is an updating of the website, right? Or creating a new funnel, right? Or creating a course. What I want you to think about is, in that bigger project, what is the one next action step that you can take today? So if it is the overhauling of the website, let's say, what's the one piece of it that you can do today? Maybe it's creating some graphics for it, or maybe it's writing out some copy for it. But do one thing towards that bigger, most important action, right? If it's a big item. If it's like a client project and it doesn't really involve a whole lot of things, then I challenge you to just hone down, set your clock for 45 minutes and just plow through it and get it done. And then if you're done, if you've completed it, sweet. If not, then take a quick break, go back to it, set your clock again for another 45 minutes and plow through it until you get it done, and just if that is something that you need to do. We often trick ourselves by saying, I work better under pressure, right? When it's crunch time, when the deadline's here, I work best under pressure. Well, actually, we really don't. A very, very small few of us might, but in general, we don't. We're not at our best. We don't have time to review. Do you remember in like high school and college, when your professor, your teacher told you to write an essay or, on something, and there was like the first draft and then the second draft and then there was a rewrite, right? Maybe a third draft and then finally your final draft, right? I remember having to go to like 2 to 3 drafts sometimes, generally around 2 drafts just before I would finally get my final version down. And it's really because the first version was just getting my ideas out, right? And then the second was like tweaking some things here and there. And then the third was really like honing in, like, yes, I am 100% confident in what I've just written down or what I've just wrote, right? And I remember like not wanting to do that because I was such a procrastinator in high school and in college that I would like wait till the last minute. And what I found was when I would actually take the time to start a first draft very early on when the assignment was assigned and then, review it a week later or so, my perspective had changed and things had developed and I had approached it differently and it just became even better. So yes, maybe your work is good right there at the very end, which is what I used to tell myself, but it can actually be even better if you're able to take that time to review it or rewrite it. So last week, for example, I worked on an email sequence, and I worked on it a couple of days here and there, wrote some things out. But this week I started to reflect back on it, to take a look at it, and I started tweaking some things because I found how I can make it even better. So I challenge you that when we wait to the last minute, that you might not be putting your best stuff out there. And so you may want to take a moment, even if it is, I think we sometimes get so caught up in that it has to take, 45 minutes, and so we don't have 45 minutes, and so we're gonna not do it at all. I challenge you to break it down into even smaller chunks. Do 10-minute or 15-minute chunks if that's what you have. If that's all the time you have, that's all the time you have. You'll be amazed at what you can get done in 10 to 15 minutes. Start timing yourself. It's pretty cool. But those are my tips for you on how to overcome procrastination. Really do the most important thing every day. Every day I sit down and I look at my to-do list and I say, okay, what is the most important action item that I have to do today? What is my frog, right? What do I have to take care of? What is the thing that I have to do that is super important? I do that first. And I break it down sometimes. Sometimes if it is that bigger project that I'm like, this is so overwhelming sometimes, that I do break it down into 45-minute chunks, or I do break it down to one task at a time. So then that way I may be stretching it out through the whole week, but I'm attacking it, piece by piece, and it doesn't feel as overwhelming as it needs to be. All right, so those are my tips for you today. Your action item, though, is to take a look at your to-do list and do simply that. Take a look at the most important action item that you have to do today, or something that you've been putting off and procrastinating on. If it's something that you can break it down, do a piece of it this morning, first thing. Do it first thing, and then attack the smaller items, the emails, the social media, the fun stuff maybe that you like to do in your business. But do that one thing first. All right. And then let me know how it goes. Let me know, try it out for a week, see how you feel and how much you're able to get done. If you have any questions, feel free to put a comment down below, let me know, or message me. I'd love to answer any questions I can on how to be a little bit more productive in your day. Announcements today. Come on in and join us in the Empowered Women Achieving Success. Miss Alexis Matthews is coming on in today to talk to us about virtual assistants and what that is and what they do and how they can help you and what they aren't, because a lot of people think sometimes that they are something that they are not. So she's clearing it out for us, letting us know exactly what it is they do. As a VA herself and as a coach for VA, she definitely has the talent and experience to share. So come on in and chat with us today. She'll be on at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So, all right, that is it for us today. We will be back tomorrow with another tip on productivity. So come on back. We'll see you tomorrow around 8:15-ish. Have a good day, everyone. Bye. Oh, remember to be you and to be amazing.